Hi, welcome to Feisty Chess. I'm playing a 15-10 game on leechess.org against Soro-chan. As always, we're starting with e4. I've often stopped to wonder if I should ever play d4, but then I don't. All right, French defense. I respect the French. Last time I played the ready gambit against it, I think I'll play something more mainline. Let's go with the usual knight to c3, the main move. Probably bishop b4 would be expected here. That's the Winauer variation. Classical is also quite popular. Knight to f6. I used to play the French classical very religiously. Here we go. All right, I tried this earlier. Let's do the bishop g5 line, and we'll hope to play the Alekhine-Chittard gambit if bishop e7 here. Okay, black goes into the Rubinstein by exchanging. I wonder if there's a way for me to gambit here. Probably not. Let's just grab the pawn. Okay. This variation is very solid and very modest by black. We're just going to continue developing naturally here. Probably go bishop d3. We can back up. We can back up to h4 because knight takes f6 is going to be a check. So we might just make black weaken his king side. I think he's going to be hesitant to do that. I guess I'll play g5. Okay, maybe bishop b5 now introduces some complications. Actually threatens to take on f6 because I'm pinning that knight. And a6 immediately. Bishop b5, a6 is no good because I'll just take. And he has to take with the bishop probably. And then I can... Black will have the two bishops, but I'll have a lot of pressure and good development. So let's do this. Yeah, I want to make sure I got d4 covered enough times. I think I do. I was looking at g5. Knight takes f6, check, queen takes f6, bishop g3, and my knight and my queen cover d4. Black will have to look at lines where I try to keep the pawn on c5, taking on c5. I don't think that's going to work out too well for me, but it could. Okay. An interesting choice. Now I can ruin Black's structure here by taking on f6 with check. He can't recapture with a knight. He's got to recapture with the pawn. And then bishop takes f6, comes with tempo. He'll be able to get the pawn back, but I'll get a lot of initiative for that. Yeah. A bit of a losing streak lately, it seems like, on the channel, so I keep my chin up. Yeah, I can afford bishop f6 right now. Rook to g1 does hit g2, though. But I can take on d7 with check. And then castle. And I've got to be a lot safer than white. Than black, sorry. If I take here now, it doesn't give him as many chances to go wrong. Yeah. Okay, f6 got a little bit weak for my opponent. I'm wondering about castling immediately. That's probably not any good. So, no need for needless piece sacrifices. Bishop also guards d5, which is nice. Ooh, I can save both pawns if I take here, because then I'm guarding b2. Okay, I didn't see this, but that threatens the queen. He's got nothing better than taking it. He'll probably take with the bishop. But then after I castle, just up a pawn and have a safer king. He could try an intermediate check, but I can always block that with the bishop. Okay, let's do this. The long diagonal bishop moves are helping me this time. Okay, I didn't expect the capture with the queen. Looks like castling is the best way to go here. I can also make threats with knight e5, making a threat on d7. I think that may be a better threat after I castle, though. He can just play bishop d6, and then I gotta... I guess I take on d7 then. I'm looking at rook here, opposed to my queen. So knight e5, bishop d... Not bishop d6, sorry. Knight e5, and then he can go rook d8. It's not the kind of move you'd really look at, because it looks like bishop takes just wins. But then he's got queen takes, check. And if I move my king or block with my queen, say I block with my queen, he can just take, and king takes, and then he takes my bishop. He's got two pieces for that rook. So let's just get castled. I'm a little worried about the light squares over here on the king side, though. I also have bishop d4 as an idea here. But again, that can come later after castling, and I do think I want to castle king side. This is a big choice. Queen d4 gives up c2. But then I can put white under a lot of pressure after rook d1. Queen d4. A trade of queens would be good for me. Queen d4. Really centralizes nicely. Oh, it's just castle. Black can't castle. I've got ideas for future moves here. Okay, this makes sense. Should I try to double on the d file? Queen d3, bring in a rook to the d file. Play rook e1 with the idea of getting a rook on the third rank. Just give that knight extra support. He could probably... Can he get his queen to attack that knight as well? Yeah, at this point, queen f5 would be a double attack on my knight and my bishop. Okay. Threat spotted. I can't move my knight, so I should probably move this bishop. If I go here, then queen h5 is the same kind of double attack. If I go here, he removes the defender and then grabs it later. Whew, this is tough. How do I defend that knight a second time? Was castling a big mistake? It seems like one of those moves you just make to be safe, right? And now I'm not feeling very safe. Okay. Queen d4, and then I've got knight h4 in the end. If he goes queen. I could go g6, and then I've got knight h4. Oh, okay. Bishop g3 will get me out of some trouble here. Bishop h4, and then if the knight is attacked again, bishop g3 releases the pin on that pawn. But he can start coming at me with h5. Then knight on h4 would be pretty secure. Okay. put another piece on the G file. I suppose I could have looked at king h1 too. Got that extra pawn, but man, those 9-10 extra minutes that Soro-chan has probably compensate for that. Yeah, that idea before castling of queen d4 looks pretty good here. Or even knight e5. Strike while the iron's hot. Okay, I should be able to get my king safe. I have lots of defenders over on the king side. So I should be fine. I might end up with double G pawns, but I can make that so that only happens if the queens get traded. Double F pawns. So imagining bishop captures here and a queen captures here, and his queen coming from somewhere and capturing here. Well, it won't let me draw that arrow. And then that pawn taking in the end. And that's fine. Those double pawns are fine because they stop these two pawns in an endgame. Okay, I'll keep my bishop on h4 until I can't anymore. Because I like that it stops him from castling and it stops him from bringing his rook to d8. My queen might ultimately go to e2, just to keep an eye on the knight and to get off the d file if my bishop does ultimately need to come here and then a rook comes to d8. So maybe queen e2 next. King h1 is another idea to consider, depending on what black does. If he plays bishop e7, I'll have to calculate some things. If they play bishop e7, do I want to take and take away the bishop pair? He's got king takes or queen takes. Probably king takes is better to keep the queen more active. And I can continue with my plans, I suppose. I'd have to rely on king h1 instead of a bishop coming to g3. King h1 would also allow for something like rook g1, and then I wouldn't have to, this knight wouldn't be pinned anymore by that annoying light squared bishop. Because I want the f-pawn to be able to defend the knight. I also want the knight to be able to move. I guess bishop g3 takes care of both of those things. So does g3 for that matter. I'm not keen on playing g3 when I don't have a light squared bishop. So my g-pawn is my light square protection right now. Okay. Does h3 get me anywhere? No, because bishop f3 will come with a tempo on my queen. So now is the time. Yeah, he's threatening to take. Then I have queen, I have this capture. Yeah, I don't see that working out too well. So let's play bishop g3. He'll get queenside castling in. It's also taking away any ideas of queen d4 here. Oh, actually, you know what? Queen e2 runs into bishop b5, doesn't it? Keeps his king in the center. Knight d2 is actually hitting the rook now. Can I make use of that at all? Or knight d2 would have to be. Yeah, let me try knight d2. A little bit of a sneaky attack on g4. But actually being able to play f3 at some point might also benefit me to blunt that light squared bishop. I can also move away. No, that loses me a piece, doesn't it? I was going to say, I've got these ideas. Like in this position, could I play knight b3? Rook takes queen, knight takes queen. Rook takes rook, check. Recapture the rook. And then recapture the knight. And I'm just down. Ooh, well played, good sir. Okay, this is interesting. I'm able to break the pin like this. I can't take the rook because he's threatening a mate. But now I can play queen f3. I might be losing an exchange here. It seems like queen f3 was kind of forced. Okay, now he's really got his eye on the... Not looking good here. There's no saving both the queen and the knight. His king is remarkably safe with that light square bishop to protect it. I'm not playing. My games are not going the way I like them right lately. What is slipping? Now I've just given him a chance to go up a piece in an endgame. Removed all complications here. Try to defend my pawns. I'm down a piece for a pawn here, and he's got two bishops. It all went south so fast. What's happening, Lorne? All right. Let's try to trade off some pawns. Yeah, that was an obvious move. Okay, we're going to hunker down. Okay. Oh, he can simply take that. Let's resign. Whew. Well, this sucks. Why have I lost my... I don't know. I play well for about the first few moves. I mean, this is good stuff here. This is all good. Black's got 2 bishops, but I'm keeping this extra pawn. I guess right here is the time to go to the analysis board. Castling, big mistake. Wow, big mistake. 2-point swing. Save it for castling queenside is the real plan here. Queen d2. Who needs an extra pawn? I was bent on keeping my extra pawn. Bishop c6 anyway, but now just castle on the queen side, and his bishop can't afford to make any captures because I'm threatening big stuff on the queen side here. Queen d5. I'll gladly trade queens. Bishop takes. Just get everything mobilized, threaten that bishop. Bishop takes a2. That can't be good. I've played these kind of games. I've played this kind of thing before. That looks kind of uncomfortable. But man, way better than castling. Yeah, bishop c6. Bishop h4. Found the right move there. Bishop g3. Queen c1. Knight d2. Yeah, big trouble there. Oh man, this was a drawn position apparently. Or the computer thinks it's equal. Bishop takes f3. I'm worried about this plan mostly. And now bishop takes f3 is a threat, maybe. Well, I suppose not. I just rook d1. Now we start trading these rooks. Yeah, this looks fine. This looks great. Why didn't I just play calmly queen to c1? I thought I had to try some tactical idea here. But he has a move, of course, that hits my knight a second time and defends his rook a second time. Oh. Now back to knight f3 would have been fine. Would have been fine. Queen f5. Queen e1. Okay. Black's pretty good here. But again, better than the game. And looks like we're exchanging some pieces. Yeah, I mean, it's at least an equal endgame. Well, an equal-ish endgame for me. It says there's a big advantage here. Rook d4. Okay, that's maybe why queen d1 is not so great. c3 threatens a check back here. Okay. Big mistakes. Castling into it. My spider senses were going off there. It just didn't take. I didn't listen to them. And then also this knight d2 getting a little too fancy and too sneaky. I mean, was he really going to miss that I'm hitting his rook? That's underestimating my opponent, playing a little bit of hope chess. Okay, those are the lessons. We'll keep this one quick. I want to get another one in today. I am not satisfied. So, see you next time, folks. Stay feisty.